All right, guys, I just have to make this video because I have both of these watches at the same time. Thanks to Ryley for the sbdc115 and thanks to Homer for the spb123. What we have here are the Seiko Alpinist line of watches. The newer one without their inner rotating bezel, and of course the more classic design, whatever colorway, but the more classic design with the inner rotating bezel, which is a non-lockdown bezel. It's free floating, pretty easy to bump and all that good stuff, but you can still use it. Both of them have the classic cathedral handset. Both of these ones are in a gold colorway. And then the other main difference is the one on your left is printed on indices versus applied or pressed, whatever they are, indices on the one on your right. So let's do some measurements. I didn't take any measurements. I didn't write them down. So we're going to do the measurements right now. And then obviously the other big thing is the absence of a rotating bezel crown on the one on the left. And you have no crown guards. And you do have the crown guards here on the more classic version. Now, strap, bracelet, whatever. I mean, we're not going to really talk about that. Let's just talk about the primary of the watch, because they're both using the 6R35 movement as well. They both have sapphire crystals. This one's a single dome, and this one's flat with a date magnifier. So quite a few differences for very similar watches. I know that sounds messed up, but they kind of are. Price points before we get into the measurements. This guy on the left can be had for somewhere between $650, $700 range, usually about, we'll just call it $700 to be safe. And this one on the right, at least this colorway, $725 is what I found it at. So they're almost the same price as well, depending on what colorway you get and all that good stuff. All right, so let's get out my digital measuring device here, and we'll try to catch some measurements. So you are under 38. You're at 37.82 wide. Let's check this guy. And you're just over 39 on that guy. So hopefully you guys are keeping track of this. I'll try to write them down in the description. That's what I'll do. I'll write them down in the description so you guys can quick reference them too. Maybe I'll edit them up on the screen. I doubt it, because I have never done that and I'm not going to start doing it now. So a little bit smaller case, closer to 38. That one's 39 if you're just taking rough numbers here. The lug to lug, you're looking at 46 on this guy. And then the lug to lug on this one, I know is going to be a little bit longer. 46.38, not much, not even a ½ millimeter longer. So lug to lug is very similar, case width very similar. Let's check on the thickness of this guy. We'll make sure we're zeroed. Now I'm going to measure the double domed the domed crystal on this. So 13.38, and then we can check the thickness on this guy. It's going to be thinner, but partly because of the crystal, but 13.03. So I would say they're probably about the same thickness. Really close lug to lug, but the one on the left is a little bit smaller case size. So, and maybe it's me not catching it right, but I think this one's definitely like a 39 and this one's definitely like a 38, both in appearance and the way they wear on wrist. Now they both have a 20 millimeter lug opening. The only other measurement we could grab is probably the crown, 6.4. And I better zero it because it didn't seem right. And about just under 6. So the crown's actually larger on the non-crown guard one. And then weight, they're going to weigh about the same. I'm not going to compare these two because you have a strap and then a bracelet, but so very similar watches, but yet very different. So depends on what your preference are. They both have display case back. As you can see here, it's just so crazy that I know a lot of people were freaking out and wondering, why would Seiko discontinue? This was a little while ago. Granted, this was a little while ago when they discontinued the green variant of this one, and everyone was freaking out. But guys, you have to know that they're not going to just dismiss a home run watch like that. They're going to expand on it like they have, and they're going to continue to expand on this line. I guarantee it. You're going to see more colorways. You're going to see more limited editions. You're going to see just a ton of different options in the Alpinist lineup. They're just getting started. Let's put them both on wrist real quick so you can see what both of them look like on my 7¼ inch wrist. This one is not sized, obviously, but you can see there is this guy on my 7¼ inch wrist. Just a great looking watch, great feeling, more of just a regular field type watch, whereas this one kind of, you know, takes it up a notch, and it adds the inner rotating bezel. This, I don't know, for some reason I know the lug to lug is similar, but this one just feels better on wrist, and I like the little bit busier dial. I like the applied indices. So, you know, spoiler alert, I prefer the old style with the inner rotating bezel and the crown guards and all that good stuff. So the real question would be, would I be fine with them doing just a different chapter in there without the inner rotating bezel? I mean, I could do without the inner rotating bezel, but I guess the real estate's there for it. So I guess it just comes with this watch. Yeah, it's nice having them both in hand at the same time. I definitely, for me personally, prefer the traditional style Alpinist with the rotating bezel. But if you don't like that complication, that's not really a complication. If you don't like that added feature on your watch and you prefer this case size and no crown guards, then this is another home run watch for you easily. This is definitely going to be competing, much like this one kind of competes to a certain extent with like a lot of Hamilton watches, then this one also does, because there's a ton of variations of those as well. The only thing you add is way better lume than Hamilton. Some of the newer Hamiltons are doing better with the lume, and you add the 200-meter water resist. Do you really need it? No, but do we like it? Yes. The same with pretty much everything else that us watch nuts enjoy. So here's a look at the lume. There's another big difference. The one on your left has the new almost BGW 9 color, cool blue, and then the traditional one on your right has a really nice clean green that is more traditional Seiko. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next vid.